I'm Liv and welcome back to my channel Endless Pages. So I'm going to give a bit of context. So back in September of last year the Magical Readathon was announced and I created a TBR and said that I was joining this readathon. Yeah, and then I technically did pass the novice path part of the readathon, which is the first part when you're traveling along the path up to the school. And then I just kind of forgot about the readathon and didn't participate in the gear up or anything like that. So recently everyone's been uploading their TBRs to the latest part of the readathon, which is the month-long readathon called the what's called the Spring Equinox readathon. And then I started to get FOMO because I was like, oh man, like everyone's participating and I love seeing everyone creating their character and finding their calling. So cool. So I think I commented that on Gem from Bookish Gems, the lovely Gems video when on her Spring Equinox TBR, and I was like, oh man, I got serious FOMO. And then I just got this fixation on the readathon and I was like, oh, this sucks, like I want to participate. And Jem was like, why don't you just participate and go back and use books you've already read to fill out the prior prompts, and then you can catch up. And I was like, oh my god, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So last night at like 11 o'clock I got this fixation where I was like, I gotta figure this out. So I'm now back participating in the readathon. I did participate in the novice path like I said, and I went back and watched her video, and to complete the novice path you only have to read 2 books, and I did read 2 books that month that met some of the prompts. So done, novice path was complete. So then all I had to do was make my choices for the dilemmas you faced along the path to find my guild, and then I just had to find books that met the prompts for the gear up, and now I'm up to date. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my character, as I did it all at 11 o'clock last night, so you obviously haven't been seeing me create it along the way. Thanks again so much to Gem from Bookish Gems for helping me figure this out. I very much appreciate it, and I'm so glad that I did, and I'm so glad that I took her suggestion. And of course to Paige from Pages with Paige, that is always helping with everyone's TBRs, I swear, she's lovely. So I don't have a name for my character yet. I feel like I haven't found something I like enough. So if you have any great suggestions for like female fantasy names, please let me know in the comments, that would be appreciated. So my character is from an urban background. Her provenance is Carador, her heritage is Iltirian, and the guild that she was invited to join was the Mindwalkers Guild. And the guild legacy is multiverse. My conduit is a dagger. So that is all the previous information from the previous parts of the readathon. Now I can actually talk to you about the Spring Equinox TBR. So in the Spring Equinox, we've made it to the Aurelium Academy, and we are now discovering our calling. So what we want to do, what we want to be. So to be successful in achieving your calling, you have to pass subjects. So each subject has a different prompt and it's broken up into like 2 semesters. So the Spring Equinox is the first semester. So it would have been great to plan this when I was planning my Realmathon TBR to make it work for me, but of course I only got the fixation at 11 o'clock last night, so that didn't happen. So I'm adding a couple of books to my TBR, which I literally don't have time this month. I know, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a real struggle to get through all these books. I'm filming this, what is the date? The 5th, I think. I'm filming this on the 6th of April, and I've read like 1 and a bit books. So we're going well. So my character wants to be a healer. So for the spring term there is 4 books I need to read to successfully pass all my subjects. I hope I'm explaining this okay. Anyway, so the first subject is Elemental Studies. So read a book that is under 100 pages. So I don't really have many books under 100 pages, but I do have this one here, if I can grab all the stuff that I put on top of it. This is Maybe by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by Gabriella Barauch. This is a kid's picture book. This is literally, I think, the only book under 100 pages that I have. But it works because I haven't read this one. My mum got me this lovely edition because she's really sweet and she likes buying me books, which is lovely. And it kind of makes me want to read, owning this book, I mean, kind of makes me want to collect children's books. I don't know why. I've already got enough books, but they're so pretty. I love children's books. Anyway, this is called Maybe. This is about 40 pages, and I thought a picture book would also be really helpful because my TBR is now massive, so this will take me like, what, half an hour to read? Not even, like 20 minutes, so perfect. I'm pretty sure this is just a cute picture book about all of the endless possibilities and potential that you have. So it sounds like a beautiful message, and the illustrations from what I can see and that I flipped through look absolutely gorgeous. So this sounds like right up my alley in terms of cute messages. So that's my first book for the spring equinox. So the second subject is Alchemy, read a book featuring romance. So I went back over my TBR and I was like, crap, there's this one I can use, but I want to use it for a different prompt, which I'll explain it in a second. So I'm gonna have to add another book to my TBR, shit. So I was like, what's a romance book? What's a book featuring a romance that is short? So I was like, let's find the shortest book on my TBR, and this is one of the shortest, is Blackout. This is a bunch of stories by a bunch of super popular authors. We have Danielle Clayton, we have Nick Stone, we have Tiffany D. Jackson, we have Ashley Woodfolk, we have Angie Thomas, and Nicola Yoon. So I believe this is set in New York, yeah, and there's a heat wave which creates a blackout, and it's about 13 teenagers that are caught up in the blackout, and it's I'm including this as romance because it says a first meeting, longtime friends, bitter exes, and maybe the beginning of something new. When the lights go out, people reveal hidden truths, love blossoms, there we go, friendships transform, and a new possibility takes flight. So this sounds like it will fit the prompt, and a bunch of amazing authors wrote stories for this book. So it sounds super cute. It sounds like a nice easy read compared to a lot of the fantasy stuff that I do have on my TBR for this month, which I didn't really think about when I made my Readathon TBR. So having something a little bit more wholesome and a little bit more contemporary will be great to break up all the heavy fantasy on my TBR. So I think this is a good choice, and it's only like how many, like 250 odd pages, so a pretty easy read. I could read this in a day or two potentially. The third subject is Inscription, and read an intimidating read. So this is one that's actually already on my Readathon TBR, thank God, because I was like, I am not adding another intimidating read to my TBR. Hell no. So this was on my Readathon TBR, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This was the one that I was going to potentially use for romance, but again, I wasn't going to add another intimidating read to my TBR. No time. I haven't got no time for that. This is one of my most anticipated reads. It's a fun, smutty adult book. So I'm really anticipating this book. The reason I'm counting it is as an intimidating read is because it's a 500 plus page book, and anything over 500 pages is intimidating to me. So we're counting that as my intimidating read. Finally, we have a restoration class that is read a book featuring a healer, as my character wants to become a healer. That makes sense. This is one I really struggled with. Page from Pages of Page suggested a great sounding book, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Other people suggested biographies by doctors, but biographies aren't super my thing. And I didn't really want to read a biography this month. So then I remembered this book. This book has been on my physical TBR for a very, 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 very long time. This is Touch of Power by Maria Snyder. This is the first book in the Healer series, so this works perfectly. I'm so happy. I cannot believe I thought of this book. So this book, our main character is a healer called Avery, and in this world, healers they lay their hands upon the injured and dying, and they assume their wounds and diseases into themselves. They are, though, not honoured. They are accused of spreading the plague that has decimated the territories, leaving the survivors in a state of chaos. So she is constantly being hunted. She's stressed and tired of being hunted, and she gets abducted by a band of rogues. Surprisingly though, they value her gift above the golden bounty offered for her capture. Their leader is a protector with the powers of his own. He is unequivocal in his demands. Avery must heal a plague-stricken prince, the leader of a campaign against her people. As they traverse the daunting 9 mountains, beset by mercenaries and magical dangers, Avery must decide who is worth healing and what is worth dying for. Okay, this sounds really good. I'm so annoyed. This is like 400 pages. I don't have time to read any of these books, but this sounds really good. I'm really hoping I can get to it this month. So there we have it. These 4 books are my TBR for the spring equinox. We have Blackout, Touch of Power, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and Maybe. I am, as much as I keep saying I've got no time to read these books, I'm so glad I decided to rejoin the Magical Readathon. It is such a incredibly made readathon. I cannot believe the work and imagination and skill that went into making this readathon. It is so fun and so interactive. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I decided to jump back in. Thanks again to Jem from Bookish Gems for encouraging me to do so. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you're participating in the spring equinox. If you are, what's your TBR? If not, just let me know what you're currently reading and how are you finding it. I'm participating in VEDA, so I'm posting a new video every day for the month of April. So if you could subscribe, that would be lovely, and then you won't miss a video from me all month. As always, all of my social media links are in the description below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I guess I will see you tomorrow. Bye!